She is the love of my life. She's a wonderful example to my children. She's a very talented person. Anybody that knows her knows that she has wonderful talents. She's a strong leader. She has wonderful principles and values. And she's able to build bridges with people of different persuasions and backgrounds. And that's a very strong talent that she has. She's a wonderful communicator. Now, over the last 8 years, double check, 8 years, I've been privileged to support her as she served in our community as the mayor and as a city council member. Mia loves the state of Utah and the people of Utah. She loves this great nation, the United States of America. And without further delay, Mia Love.
Thank you so much for coming. I have to tell you, this is so humbling for me, and it's an honor for me to be here. As I look around the room, I see friends, I see colleagues, people that I've worked with, and I see family members. I see people who have become family members. It's perfectly fine. He's fine. I see family members and people who have been with me for a long time. It seems like, gosh, almost a decade ago, I started in my I guess my quest is having service through my life, and I started my giving back, the period of time that I have to give back. That giving back came, if you think about it, came from a particular place. In 1973, my parents immigrated from a country, well, I should say they fled from a country of intimidation, fear, and they came to a country because they wanted to have some opportunities. They moved to Brooklyn, New York, legally. I was born in Brooklyn, in Kings County Hospital, and with $10 in their pockets, they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and made a life for themselves. They taught me a lot of lessons. My parents have been such a big influence in my life when I think about the things that they have been through. On the day, they decided that they were going to study U.S. history. They were going to learn about this country. They decided that they were going to speak the English language. If they were going to become Americans, they wanted to speak the language. On the day of naturalization, they pledged their allegiance to our flag. They knew what that meant. They understood what it meant. And they were just so happy to just call themselves, finally, Americans. And with $10 and a lot of hard work, they made a life for themselves. And that life was filled with lots of lessons. It was filled with lessons like independence, personal responsibility, hard work. My parents, I had a front row seat to seeing two people realize the truth of the American dream. On the first day of college, I remember orientation. I took my dad with me. He was going through classes with me. It was like he was 8. He was going to class himself. He was so excited. And I didn't realize why he was so excited. I mean, I was the last person the last of his children that he was actually going to be putting through school. And he was just giddy and just really happy. And I remember when it was time for him to go, he finally got really serious and he looked at me. And he said, "Mia, your mother and I have done everything we possibly could to get you to where you are today. We're putting our last child through school and we never, ever took a handout. You will not be a burden to society. You will give back." I say it because it's really important for people to understand why I'm here today. I am proud to announce that I am running for Utah's 4th Congressional District. This decision has not been an easy one. It took a lot of discussion, a lot of planning, and a whole lot of prayer. It took a lot of advice and a lot of people willing to put their hard work and their commitment behind this cause. Being a congresswoman is not going to be my greatest achievement. It's not. My greatest achievement and accomplishment was being a mother and a wife. Being a mother and a wife is my realized dream. I will not stand by as we leave our children a legacy of debt and dependency. Now, a month ago, something really special happened, which is why we're doing this here today. I know a lot of people are wondering, why not, the Capitol? Why not the Hinckley Institute? Well, I wanted you to understand and feel sincerely why I'm doing this. About a month ago, I had a little girl. Can you come up? A girl named Isabella. I don't even know her. By the way, this is the first time I'm meeting Isabella. But one of the people that work on my campaign came and substituted in this very classroom. And when the class asked him and said, what else do you do besides substitute teach? He said, I work on Meal Love Exploratory Committee. And this little girl went back to her desk and drew a picture for me, right? Can you read what it says?
Dear Mrs. Love, feel like I'm having love in the bars. Student at SSC.
Thank you. So I looked at this picture, and it's got rainbows, and it's got a heart, and just in this picture, I can see that this young girl has got hopes and dreams. She would never suspect, thank you, by the way, she would never suspect any of the adults. She would never suspect anybody to do her any harm. Yet this is what we're allowing our government to do by racking up $16 trillion of debt. It's immoral. I'm here to tell you, Isabella, to tell my children, to tell the children in this community, the children in this state, the children in this country, that you will have a voice in Washington. You will. We are no longer going to allow politicians to kick the can down the road. We are no longer going to allow this out-of-control spending. We're no longer going to stand for it. I will fight to make sure that our children have an opportunity, have a chance at realizing their dreams, the same way my parents have realized their dreams. Now, it's a lot of hard work. I know what it's like to cut a budget. I've done it. I know what it's like to stand for something when everybody else around you doesn't. I've done it. I know what it's like for leaders to stand up and get politicians out of the way. It's effective. I know what it's like to make difficult decisions at difficult times, to steer a boat when it's stormy and raining and you know that you can't get through. I've done it, and it's possible. The principles of economic freedom are possible. Here's what we're going to do. One, first and foremost, we're going to cut spending in Washington. We're going to do it. It has to be done. Two, we are going to rein in regulation that is stifling our growth. Three, we're going to open up land so that we can make ourselves energy independent, so we can create jobs, so that we can lower cost of fuel, and make sure that we are not dependent on countries that want to see us harmed. We are going to do that. We are going to fix this tax code that we've got. Instead of trying to fix it for 2 months, fix it for another year, we're going to get in there, we're going to simplify the tax code. We're going to lower taxes because, Washington does not have a revenue problem. They have a spending problem. We are going to stop this nation from crippling Americans into thinking that we are entitled to everything, because we're not entitled to anything that we don't own, earn, work for, or pay for ourselves. We have an opportunity. We could keep sending the same people and get the same results, but not this year. Not this year. We are going to change things this year. This year, we have an opportunity to make history and send a new candidate to Washington. This year, we have an opportunity to change the direction, the way this country is being run. This year, we have an opportunity to show the world what Utah stands for. And this year, we have an opportunity to put up a candidate, finally, that is going to send Congressman Jim Matheson back home. And that's all I have. Same things everybody's talking about. Thank you so much. We can mingle out. I'll be happy to answer any questions that the press has for me. I don't mind.
Expect greatness, right, Dan?